welcome to my channel. Well, it's been probably 4 years, 3 or 4 years since I picked this lock. I don't know where the key is for it. I could look for it, but I'm going to pick it. But I just wanted to compare this with the smaller one. I believe that this one's going to be easier to pick. All right, so here we go. I always like collecting, like if I like one lock, does this sound familiar? I'd get another one of a different size, just because it was a different size, So I'd have Walsco, Cisco, CISA. I mean, you name it, I would collect them and just to pick them. But anyways, here we go. We're gonna close this up. There we go. It's locked. Don't know. What are we gonna do? We're gonna throw it away? No, we're not gonna throw it away. We're gonna pick it. We're gonna try to pick it open. So one of the first things you got to do is you got to figure out how you're going to tension it. I'm going to tension it from the top of the keyway, and this is a Mad Bob 1.2 millimeter tension wrench. Fits right in there. I'm going to put this side in like this. It's curved and everything for you. Let's get this angle up a little bit more. Sorry. I haven't pre-picked it or anything like that. Like I said, I haven't touched this thing in 4 years. I have no idea what the bitting is like. I don't know. Because if you got the key, a lot of times you can tell, well, this one's going to be high, this one's going to be low. I shouldn't touch this one, I should touch that one. I'm just going to time this on myself. That's why I got this down here. All right. And I'm going to just use a short hook. 23 thousandths. Let me see if it'll fit in there. Yeah, it will. All right, let's start. All right, I'm applying a little bit of tension. I'm going to start with one. Nothing on one. It's moving. What I'm looking for is one of them to be binding. There should be one of them that's not moving. Way in the back. This you hear that? This pick is too thick. This pick is too thick. So we're gonna switch. I believe this is a 20 thousandths pick. You can feel more with this. The 20 thousandths. These keyways are designed a lot of times to prevent you from getting in there. And the thinner they are, and the more these things are called wardings, the more these things are in your way, the more difficult it is for you to even be able to use your pick. That's 5 back here is binding. I got a click out of it. 5 or 4, I'm not really counting them. Wow, I pushed too far on that one. There's very little movement on this core. I'm starting over. There's serrated pins in these. What serrated pins are is what it sounds like a serrated blade, and so you'll get clicks whenever it goes past one of those ridges. And that'll fool you if you're picking a lot of times. Man, this ain't an easy one. It may be harder than... How much time have I spent picking? 2 minutes, and I've got nowhere. What are you gonna do? You can't get it open. I can get this lock open without... You can shim the core, shim the shackle a lot of times and get in that way. But this one's going to be I'd rather pick it. All right. We have problems, Houston. The thing is, I don't really get maybe I need to use more tension. I don't really get a binder. If you use too much tension, everybody's going to bind. Hear that? Tink. You'll hear it clicks too when pins fall back down. Because you've got key pins, and then you've got pins up in here called the Bible. And this is like your shear line right there. And you're just trying to line them up. These are small. You know, this one might be small, and the one above it might be long, and you've got a spring pushing down. So you're fighting that spring a little bit, and then you're wanting to rotate the core. If you've got a key in there, they're all lined up at once. So it turns easily, but when you're picking, you're doing one pin at a time. This is why it's called single pin picking. You're trying to find the one pin that's binding, push it up until you get some kind of reaction out, a click or something like that, and then back off of it and go to another one and try to find another one that's binding. But man, your finger pressure is important. You don't want to be too heavy with it, but you don't want to be too light. Yeah, it's really hard to describe picking a lock. It's more of you have to feel your way through. And in my experience, a lot of times the European type of locks are much harder to pick, usually, than an American lock. American locks are almost like Chinese locks. Chinese locks are at the bottom of the list, usually. The ones we get over here. China can make good locks, they just don't export them. So what we get is, I want to try something different on this guy. I'm going to see if it can rake open. I've already spent too much time yammering and goofing around. So what I'm looking for now is a Bogota or a worm. Here's a Bogota. Now with a Bogota, you're better off doing the bottom of the keyway tension because you're going to be raking towards the top. Let's see if I can get somebody able to work as a bottom of the keyway tensioner. That'll work. It's not ideal, but I don't know how far we're going to get with this anyway. And you know, when somebody was talking about wear, this type of raking everything, yeah, it does put wear on the pins, and these type of picks will break because there's a lot of pressure. Usually they break right there. Believe me, I've broken so many picks, especially when you're learning, man. When you're first learning, you're putting, man, we can't even get a false set out of this thing. Hear all those pins? All right, let's start over. We're just gonna go back to single pin picking, and I'll just put it straight up like that. And if you're not having success, sometimes you can switch around to different picks. This is a funky looking pick right here. Let's see how this Mr. Funky does. Ooh, I got a little bit of a turn. Mr. Funky's working all right. It's up to you whether you want to start from the front and work your way back, or the back and work your way front. A lot of people, this is too thick. That keyway is tight. This is called a praxis set, and usually I got extra picks in here, but it has 25 thousandths and 15 thousandths, and this particular keyway is going to need 15 thousandths or 20 thousandths. That's pretty much the same thing I had before. And I believe this is a Sparrow's pick. That was all the way in the back. I had overset somebody, so coming for me.
We saw somebody picking a lock. I'd like to report a lock picker.
Send someone right over. Good, maybe he can help me with this lock. Fire department knows how to. They'll cut the lock. If they can't get in, they can bust their way in. Mine is non-destructive entry if possible. No, I don't think I'm going to pick this today. This happened a lot with lock picking. You'll sit there and try to do a video of yourself opening a lock, and you only got so much memory on your phone. People don't. That's why lock picking does get a lot. It's almost like watching golf or something, you know. Like, yeah, I'm getting nowhere on this guy. That's what happens if you don't pick for a long time. Your skills go down. See, if it had spools in it, I could rake it to a false set and deal with it like that. But I don't think there's any spools in there. It's definitely got serrated pins though, and those are difficult. Because when you get it one set, it doesn't move much. With the spool, if you fall into a false set, it's got to go from like the top of the waist to the bottom, and you've got that whole range of motion that you can mess around with. Getting nothing, man. I'm just getting a lot of clicks. If it was fully serrated, I should be able to rake it though. This one's, a worm is, instead of really being really pointed, it's more gradually sloped. And this is the way you, bottom of the keyway tension for a worm. See if we can worm our way into this lock. No, it's not worming. Ooh, we got something. Maybe we do have a, sometimes that's just your tension wrench falling in a different position. Let's see if we got a false set. A lot of times what you could do is rake the lock into a false set and then find, here's a binder right there. Need to do some more raking. I think I lost my false set. Oh, there it is. It's grabbed the pick though. There's a false set back there that'll grab the pick and you can't pull it back out, so it's all the way in the back. There we go. That was 2. There's something binding back here in the back. Like 4. There it is. That was pin 4. Yeah. That took me too long. But that's not bad for being rusty. But yeah, that's one of the techniques you can use is bottom of the keyway tension. Let me show you the shackle is open. Bottom of the keyway tension, and then raking it into a falset. And a falset is the keyway turns. The keyway turns, but it doesn't open. And another thing you can do with locks is you don't have to lock it to pick it again. I mean, it's locked right now. So you can just leave the shackle open if you want to experiment. And these things are heavy. That's why you usually use a vise. Let's see if I can get that faster. All right, where did my worm go? Here, worm. Here, wormy. Here, worm. I don't know where he went. Let me pause this. I found it. It was right here. What are we looking at? All right. Let's try this again. See if we can't go faster. Where's my... There is my timer. Stopwatch. You stop that watch. All right, now this should be faster if I know what the hell I'm doing. All right, we'll start. Consider that a start. There. I got a falset. It may be more than one. It's not always just like one pin you've got to get when you get a falset. Yeah, here's one. Yeah. I set him, but I lost my falset. So I'm going to try to drop back. Nope. Oh, I had to do 2 pins to get that falset back. Pin 1 right here. Pin 2. Still trying to work on pin 2. There we go. Nope. And this pin is... Oh, had to back off tension to get past it. Nope. I should have stopped when I was ahead. Where'd my Reiki go? I need a Reiki again. Nothing. This will, a lot of times will, oh, there we go. We'll overset pins. So the first time you get any kind of motion like that where the core turns, take the rake out. That's pin 3. I'm pushing up on it. It's really resisting, fighting me. And when I did it, I lose my falset. So I'm going to go see if anybody else will give me more than that. Nope, so I'm going to try to ease up. Two pins fell. Yeah, I didn't have anything. Ooh. That was pretty quick. I can single pin pick it. faster than raking it. I'm going to lock the shackle. Try it without. How do you reset it? And I want to resume. Here we go. Reset wasn't highlighted. All right, start. All set on 2. Another click off of 3. 2 again. I don't think this is the right one to pick. That's the only one giving me anything. Man. I can't get 2 to set without backing off tension. Got my false set back again. A lot of times you can take a marker and you can mark the core and you can see how far you've turned when you're learning, just to help you out. And if you do it right, if you get what they call like the binding order correct, it'll repeat itself. But sometimes you can go out of order and the lock will pick differently. So, I mean, there's a correct way of getting to it, and then there's a bunch of incorrect ways of eventually getting to it. And when you're learning, you learn the incorrect ways first, usually. Like that. That was incorrect. Yeah, 2 minutes. Total of 22 minutes of messing around with this lock. Oh, there it is. There's a fast way into that. Try to lock it again. If you know what you're doing. And this is why it's called like learning the lock. You know, if you wanted to impress people, you would just edit the film, you know, and just put your best time in there. But I just wanted to show you, I've always done it realistically. I've always done my videos realistic. I've never fudged with it or messed it around to make myself look better, because well, who are you fooling? You know, you're fooling the audience out there, but you're also fooling yourself, because you should learn from your mistakes. You should be able to show that you're not superhuman, you know. I mean, this stuff takes practice, and if, like anything else, if you don't practice, you're gonna be rusty. Oh, I didn't even restart my timer down there. I was just trying to do this one fast. There. Didn't even start my timer. So yeah, it's called learning the lock, you know. And that's why you usually get more, as you start picking, you just get more and more locks, because you already know that one. And then after a while, it's been a while since you picked it. So maybe it'll fool you. This one I'm trying to go. Not like competition speed picking or anything. Ooh. 23 seconds. So, if you know what the hell you're doing, and you've got a lot of skill, yeah. But I mean, if I were to publish just the last minute of this video, it'd be being dishonest. Being dishonest to myself and being dishonest to the viewers. And it doesn't teach anything, you know? If you see somebody that just goes, bam, you don't see that. You saw the learning process. So that's why this is a long video, even though I could have made it a short one. You know, oh, look at me. I've got all these skills. No, man. I have picking skills, but it was only because I spent years picking. And only towards the very end did I even start understanding what the hell I was doing. A lot of times, when you rake open a lock, if you can get a lock to rake open, yeah, you've opened the lock, but you really don't know what's going on with the lock. To me, you really haven't understood the lock unless you can single pin pick it. And single pin picking always usually takes a lot of time until, like I said, once you know what the hell you're doing, once you know how the lock operates, you can get in this sucker fast. Probably faster than you could slip a key in there. Maybe, I don't know, a key you could probably open it in less than 23 seconds. Unless you were drunk. And if you're drunk, don't even try picking. I don't know, maybe some people are good at, you know, they get relaxed when they're drunk. But anyways, there you go. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.